And
it affects the eyes too, because those little tiny blood vessels in the eyes,
Absolutely. Yeah, so this will help, at least in the lower extremities, will help turn that around, typically within 4 to 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm. So is there any other, as far as the published research, we touched on the hormonal aspects, the bone density, peripheral neuropathy. Seems like there's some other areas that seems to be helpful for.
Sure. Yeah, there's a couple other wide-ranging, it's just emerging actually, but there's a couple other topics that are being discussed right now, and we could go into those as well if you'd like. What we've seen is a lot of it done with the geriatric population, especially in Germany. They've done bed rest studies with patients who were not able to get up out of a chair or out of bed, or who were constantly falling. They've shown significant results, improvement with the ability just to raise out of a chair. So they saw 50 to 60% improvement in their ability to get out of the chair without having to hold on, just get up by themselves. They've had patients who had Parkinson's who improved significantly in their gait with the Parkinson's disease they had. They've had patients who weren't able to walk at all with supranuclear palsy and able to eventually walk within 8 to 12 months. And actually that was done at the Rusk Institute, I believe, in New York.
Yeah.
They performed a couple of those studies there as well. So now that the vibration has really kind of hit mainstream, the research is starting to broaden, and they're looking at so many other topics now.
Yeah, I even read that even like serotonin levels helps with like mood, like to help the people that have depression.
Yeah. It's just opening up, and I guess from looking at the hormonal studies, you got to assume that maybe there's other things that could be going on there as well on the hormonal level. We don't know what they are yet, but you'd have to make that assumption that maybe some other things are being affected by this as well. As every organ in our body works on a different vibration level, it's got to be affected to some degree or another, and we don't know yet. But the field's just emerging. It's relatively a baby, if you will, in terms of science, knowing all of the different effects. But what we've seen here anecdotally with the patients that we've treated, be it incontinence or neuropathy or osteoarthritis, very significant improvements in those different cases.
Yeah, and what you were talking about, the hormonal issues, one thing I wanted to touch on too is that a lot of the theories of aging now, or the sort of anti-aging or preventing aging, is a lot of it's hormonal. With decreasing DHEA levels being linked to aging and disease, decrease in HGH, which we talked about. And
testosterone as well.
Testosterone, the sex hormones.
Yeah, in both males and females. Yeah. Testosterone has a significant effect on the body as well.
Yeah, so this is something that I see is also for people that are already healthy.
Yeah.
As something to perhaps we'll see down the road. Maybe there's no research yet, but if it helps with like life extension or at least living a higher quality.
Yeah, I mean, even here in the office, I can tell you anecdotally, it's improved the quality of life of our patients who are over 65, 70 years old by numbers of different ways. Hormonally, that's that's going to be improved. Yeah. But just the fact they can get around better.
They can get around.
We had a lot of patients who were coming in with a cane who now don't use it anymore. We had a patient with a walker who no longer uses it anymore because the ambulation is so much improved, the strength levels improved, and you get all these different things, wrapped up in one. It does have a significant impact on the quality of life, for that patient, and it probably holds off other problems because of the fact they can get around now, they can exercise, and as if you're inactive, a lot of problems come about because of that, just from being inactive. Yeah. So I think it from what we've seen anecdotally, has been very impressive in improving the quality of life of a number of our patients.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen you work with athletes before over at the Omni. Have you noticed, I know you've read the research, but have you seen like any of the basketball guys or has any of them tried to
I haven't. We haven't done any tests on it to see whether or not it improved. We've seen an increase in explosiveness. And that's mainly just not testing it because it's hard to. Some of that's hard to measure. But with vertical jump testing, we see significant improvements with athletic ability. Just in the recent case that we just tested them, a group of kids who all saw between a 4 and 7 inch increase in the vertical jump. However, we don't know. It was a combination of different things. So we haven't isolated it, only done the vibration with them to isolate to see the improvement. But everything that I've read have shown, significant improvement, even with higher level athletes who are much harder to get results with. they've seen 4-inch increase in verticals in the course of 6 to 8 weeks, which is
Wow.
huge.
That is very huge.
Oh, it's huge. With a high-level athlete, you're happy with hundredths of a second improvement, or an inch increase in the vertical.
right.
It's a huge deal. When they're already Olympic level, but they've shown this with the high-level
And
guys.
speaking of athletes, I mean, I know a lot of professional athletes are using. I've heard that like Lance Armstrong uses some similar. I
Yeah.
don't know if he uses this particular
Yeah.
one, but he does.
Yeah.
And like LeBron James and different.
Dwayne Wade from Miami Heat, they use it. It's gotten widespread now. There's numbers of different teams. I have friends who are strength coaches with different pro teams, and a lot of them have started to integrate. And the reason why is they can use it in season. It doesn't exert the body.
Yeah.
They're not fatigued from it. And the other nice thing is it helps to protect them from any potential injury in training.
Right.
So now it's a very
that's
safe.
right. I've read that it's good for joint
Oh,
flexibility.
absolutely.
And just overall muscle joint flexibility.
It's great as a warm-up.
Ligaments, tendons.
Yeah, it's an excellent warm-up because it'll increase blood flow to the area. It'll also increase the flexibility of the muscles on just in the first visit. So if they stand on the vibration platform for 5 minutes, you're going to see an increase in flexibility on the spot, and increase in blood flow. So it's great as a warm-up because actually what it does, it wakes the muscles up for activity as opposed to passively stretching them, maybe like what you'd see in yoga.
Yeah.
This will stretch them in a way that's going to get them ready for activity.
Wow.
So that's what you want.
And that's a big thing with you say aging. People get stiff and
Absolutely.
it's like they just can't hardly
Yeah.
turn their head or bend over.
Exactly.
So
The
they
muscles
lose
become
that.
more rigid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So this is kind of like loosening things up on.
Yeah. It definitely will show that improvement, and there's been tons of studies on that. That's without question. There's been tons of studies on flexibility across the board.
That's a big. I mean, for people that are really athletic.
Yes.
That's one of the things is they get an injury and it's like, oh my God, like they feel like they're going to be
Right.
might be several weeks or months before they're back.
Exactly. Yeah, you'll see a significant improvement in there. The muscles will become more pliable. They won't be as rigid, and able to withstand more forces. As you're in exercise. You know what I mean? Because they've already undergone the intense contraction on the Galileo. You go out and perform the intense contractions that happen in athletics will no longer be a big issue or high risk of injury. Then it'll help to bring that down.
And with weight loss now, talking about the hormonal things, I know with like HGH and some of these hormones, there's been a link to burning fat and.
Oh yeah.
So it would just make sense that this would help.
Absolutely.
With like toning muscle, helping increase the muscle definition, and maybe helping to burn fat too.
Absolutely. You'll see. Like we said, that this is it's a little bit of a leap, but yeah, if you're increasing growth hormone levels, obviously the next thought would be that they're going to see weight loss as a result. But I don't. We haven't done that here because it's a medical office. We haven't done any research on that. But I think that would be a legitimate possibility.
Yeah, because I know like different Hollywood stars like Madonna, I think is using
Jennifer
it.
Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez, and
Yeah.
I even read like Anthony Hopkins and just different.
Yeah.
There's like a long list of.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're using this exact machine, but they're using some.
Yeah, a
form
lot of them are using the power plate that I know of. We've seen with two of the with even the ladies that work here in the office, they use it as as an exercise tool, and have noticed improvement in the tonus of their lower body.
Yeah.
Waist size has been a little bit decreased, and the tonus overall has
Yeah.
improved. But like you said, that's anecdotal, and I can't really.
So you can't make any claims for
I
steel.
can't be
steel guns,
dogmatic.
you know?
No, I can't be dogmatic about that. No.